Hey, you already know who it is. It's 1/3 of the group, Grind Mode. It's Chaos, aka Henrietta's son, aka the Pressure Can, aka Sister Kettle's grandson. And I've just been showcased on Showcase TV. Man, I love y'all, appreciate y'all, and keep doing your thing.
It's your time to shine. It's your time to shine. Welcome to the showcase. Yeah. Stay on your grind. Stay on your grind. Welcome to the showcase. My way through, busting my way through, burning my way through like a ball of fire.
What up, y'all? It's your girl Drea, aka Lady Hercules. Welcome to the Showcase television show. Today we have a special guest from the legendary South Florida hip hop trio, Grind Mode, Chaos. Thank you for joining us today.
What's up, boo?
Nothing much. I really appreciate you joining on the short notice. If you would have told me a few years ago that I'd be talking face to face with you right now, I would have thought you were lying. I'm a huge fan. I just wanted to make sure I put that out there.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So for the people who don't know, can you give us an intro on what Juke music is and the importance of, like, you know, how it came about in South Florida?
I always get excited from it because it's something that I saw. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, for years I was kind of modest, trying to make it like a group thing, a team thing. But in all honesty, like, I always been a club hopper. I always been in the teen clubs, the younger clubs, my clubs, the strip clubs, the after hour clubs down here in South Florida. And I'm from South Miami.
Okay.
And the rest of my group is from Opelika and Carol City. Okay. So I'm from the south end of Dade County, and hence the name South Dade Juke, South Miami Juke. Like, that's where it started off. And I've seen a bunch of dances come through my side of town that I feel like they didn't get the due diligence. So they'll rise and then they'll fall. We'll never see them again. But when I saw like the South Dade Juke, like, I started seeing it at the same time. Like, I promised within a 2-week span, because I was, you know, my nephews, they played football. So I'm going to the Optimist football games. I'm going to the high school football games. I was very active and interactive, especially in the hood. So I kept seeing this one dance like everywhere I go, and I'm like, they don't have a song to it. It just like sped up music. They're just like, you know, and it came in a pill popping era of Miami. So I saw it, and I was, you know, I told my homeboy, we was already making like dance music and stuff like that. And I was like, listen, we need to kind of like connect with that world, because it has no theme song. It has no. So that's why you hear it at the end of I'm So High, can you South Dade Juke? Like, a lot of people think we saying, can you stop that juke?
That's what I think every time. I'm like, can you stop it?
I'm telling you, that's why I'm giving you real live history right now. Like, a lot of people think, when like, especially when we toured all over the country, it's like you see people, especially like white people, they be like, can you stop that juke? And I'm like, that is not what's being said. But it's funny though. I don't take offense to it. I think it's just funny, like, you know. So that's basically what it started. And then these kids started making, like, I shot the very first Juke video on like a Brandsmart cheap camera in the flea market down there. I
saw that. That's how I found out about about the song.
So I shot it, and the person who makes ringtones at that time, it was called Mary Wet, in the flea market. Okay. She edited it, put it together, and I was like, oh my God, like, this is before viral. We went viral before that was a word. So he was like, yo, this might blow up.
Yeah.
Now I'm sounding like a grandpa for saying that, but this might blow up, Sonny. So it went viral. Yeah. And it started at that time, like doing 10, 15,000 views was big before the billions of views. So then it shot up to like 50,000 views, 100. I'm like, oh my God, 100,000 views when I first came out and YouTube was just being born. Yeah. 100,000 views is like 10 million views right now.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's really where it came from. And then people just start like mimicking the sound and things like that. And I loved it. So, I mean, I'm sorry for being so long-winded, but.
No, we need that. Like, honestly, and thank you for correcting that, because now I can tell my best friend that we've been singing it wrong this entire time. It's crazy. Like, just last week, I was in Tampa for the Millennial Tour, and you know, we were just sitting at the bar and you were just sitting there bored. When the song came on, I instantly took out my phone and I was like, we got in a jam. And everybody was like, I just went on the YouTube just yesterday. No matter how old the song is, people like almost every other day this week have been commenting on the YouTube. Like it's a timeless song. Right. And it makes you want to dance. It makes you want to juke, for lack of better words. Like, right. That's amazing. That's amazing. So now that we know the history of I'm So High and stuff like that, I know you guys have had other tracks like Ecstasy. Right. Vibe was also another one of my favorites too. Right. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But I also know that you are getting into, you did get into your acting role.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Baghdad. Tell me a little more about your role there.
Yeah, like with Baghdad, the guy who directed it, Curtis Ballard, he's a writer. He wrote the whole movie too, and it's based on this guy named Dello. But originally, he wanted to do something that was kind of based around my life, and I just felt uncomfortable because I don't know. Like for one, I don't want nobody digging in my life too deep. Like I had a crazy life, so yeah. I don't want to.
Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to BMF it right now.
That's true.
I don't want anybody looking up no old stuff and kick my door in and lay my baby down and like, Miami Police Department, down, let me see your hand. I'm like, whoa, I thought it was just so yeah, he stepped to me, he rewrote it in a different way, and he interviewed this guy, and then his story was so interesting, he ended up building a script around it, and then he reached out to he had somebody else for the role. But it was kind of generic. And he reached out to me, and I always wanted to get into acting. And it's crazy that my like real first role was like a leading role. And I never would have thought it would have took off like how it did. But when I read it, I was like, I think I could pull this off. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't want to never do a movie where I felt like I'm trying too hard or it makes me uncomfortable. So, and then the other thing is, I was like, you know, as long as I ain't dying at the end, because I feel like
yeah, everybody always die in a scary.
Everybody that die in movies, they die in real life. And I was like, nah, I ain't good. I'm good on that, Papa. So but yeah, man.
Really good. Like I watched it and I was like, this was like a natural style. Like you were probably, I would want to say you were the best actor on there. And it was one of those movies where if I were to leave the room, like I can't leave the room without pausing it. Like I had to watch the entire thing through. I didn't want to skip anything. It was a very well-written movie. And I just loved how everything came about. And, you know, you being the older brother to the aspiring boxing career and stuff and the influence. It was a dope movie. It was a dope movie.
I appreciate it. It's a lot of messages in there, and I love it for that reason too, because in the Black community, I think with other kinds of directors and people that don't share this melanin, they tend to try to pigeonhole us on what story they feel like defines us. Like, let us define us. Like, and that's why I love the Tyler Perrys and a lot of these legends and kings that are taking hold of it and creating our own distribution companies and things like that, in which we can control the story, control the narrative, and don't tell us who we are. We'll tell you who we are. So that's really what that was about. And then on top of that, just adding inspiration to that actual projects, because it's in Opalaka, but there's a small projects that's there, and they call it Back Blues. Well, it's named Back Blues, but they call it Baghdad because it's so bad and treacherous and the violence is so high. And in the year that I shot that movie, it had the highest murder rate in Miami. And a lot of people don't know that. So Pokemon Projects might have been on First 48 all the time, and a lot of people know that for Liberty City, but actually that projects had the highest murder rate. Like people were getting killed because it's one way in, one way out. Right. A lot of people get killed in there. So it was uncomfortable shooting that movie slightly because, you know, like I'm from the hood. I'm gonna be real with you, but when you go in somebody else's hood, you want to represent them right. You want to give them the respect. You get the respect back. But you still got them couple knuckleheads that want to, you know, put that pressure on you. And, you know, I got to be the life coach that I am and be like, bro, like, let us do our thing and hopefully bring some light to this. You heard me? So I had to do a lot of counseling throughout that behind the scenes and gained a lot of friendships and relationships that I currently have. Because I actually just went back there just to do like this other documentary for Hood Blogs that does like millions of views, and they embrace me like I'm from there, you know what I mean? Especially like the kids that was kids when I shot that movie, and now it's like over 1 million views on YouTube and thousands and thousands of views in the streets.
Yeah.
So when I go back there, it's like, man, I'm like they OG, and it's like, man, it's love for real. Like aside from grind mode, aside from music, they like, damn, you came in a place that people like overlooking, and they treat us like outcasts. And here it is, you inspired us. Like you could put a film together like that, a real, not a short film, but a real film, and talk about what we go through. So man, I love them and they love me.
Yeah, it was, and that's another thing. It was a real film. Like this was a drawn out movie. You got a full understanding of the background, and I completely understand. Like you brought shine to a city where there really wasn't so much, and hopefully that shed light on a lot of issues that go on in the community that still are left unfixed. You know, and then like you said, you were doing the counseling yourself. Counseling in general isn't so much promoted in our community. Like that, mental health is wealth. I always say that. So I'm glad that you were able to, like, you know, put a smile on those kids' face and, like, you know, be that person that they can look up to at the end of the day.
Right.
Amazing. But I know you know, going back to music, you do have new music like out now, right? I see you dropped a single special.
Right. Jasmine Kadavid, shout out to her. I had an idea that I was already about to work with her. She had previously been on my television show as a guest, and I interviewed her, and I just thought like her vibe, her energy, her spirit was dope. Beautiful person outside and in, not just a pretty face. You understand what I'm saying? And she's, you know, respected me as like a fan, and she was just like, yo, she'll love to connect on something. So DJ Chippy 305 is a pretty big DJ down here in the South Florida market, and then he's working on his album. He reached out to me, and I told him, you know, I want to write, like, I want to do the way I heard the production, I was like, I want to do a Ja Rule Ashanti type of vibe.
Yeah.
So, and then I heard her on it. So I wrote the whole song minus her verse. And then I roll around to it, and it's like, she laid her verse, and I was like, and redid the hook. And I was like, man, this is beautiful, man. Like, so now we're about to shoot the video in a couple weeks or whatever. And
no, I can't
so,
see that.
Yeah, it's gonna be cute and funny, and you know, I'm going over the treatment now, like, cause I do some writing behind the scenes, so I'm writing the treatment now, and it's gonna be cute and something that the ladies can go back to, just that good special feeling, cause you want that guy that not just buying you a Birkin bag. Like, there's still some women out there that just like, dang, he washed my hair, girl.
Right.
He washed my dreads, girl.
The little things.
Girl, he oiled my scalp, girl.
Exactly. Yes.
Like little things like that, but it might not be nothing to this girl or that girl, but it's something to you to make you feel special.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to create with this song. So it's gonna be dope, man. And Miami Gallus, I just flipped the remix of the original Gallus. I actually got 2 videos dropping for that, like a carnival vibe, because you know I'm originally from Poughkeepsie, New York, upstate, but I was raised in Miami, and I always just been in that island culture. My Bahamians, my Nigerians, my Trinidadians, my Jamaicans, you know, my Haitians, my Cubans. So I'm always in these different types of cultures. So I always try to embody it. Yeah. And just like to show people, like, because if you look at the video I did Girl on the Dance Floor, I shot it at Carnival. And everybody's like, they ain't know you was from the islands. A lot of people think I'm from the island, but I'm not. Like, it's just.
Oh, you're not.
Yeah, I'm engulfed in the cultures. Like, my best friend is Haitian. My other best friend is Cuban. When I was in Poughkeepsie, New York, I was around a lot of different Africans. I learned different dialects. I learned a lot of things from my Puerto Rican friends and my Jamaican friends and my Trinidadians and Bahamians and, you know, Turks and Caicos. And then when I came to Miami, it just flipped in a different way. And I just embrace the culture as much as they do. So I love them. They love me back. And I try to keep a lot of light on them. No different than when if we go back to Baghdad, a lot of the Haitians in my community, they think I'm Haitian because they seen me wearing a Haitian bandana a few times in that movie.
Ooh.
But I did that. It's a little plant for me to say, because at that time the earthquake had happened.
Oh, wow.
So I wanted people to keep attention on Haiti.
Oh, wow.
And that was my way of showing love to my homeboys who lost people that got killed over there. Yeah. So I wore a Haitian bandana around my neck. I wore a Haitian bandana in my dicky pants. And people were like, oh, I thought you was Haitian. And, you know, I know a little bit of Creole and stuff like that. So they love me in that community. You know, so I love them back, man. So that's really what that's about, man. Like I believe like I ain't segregated at all. You know what I mean? I'm pro-black in all kinds of ways.
Yes.
So,
but Miami Carnival, because I'm Jamaican and Guyanese, Miami Carnival is huge down there. So just test.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, so the Miami Gallus video, I got 2 versions. I got one that's a strip club version. Those strippers, they don't get enough of the right love. Let me just say that, because it's a lot of.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Third spot goes.
I'm gonna say this: when I was on tour, I'm the one that like praying the most. I'm a grandma's boy, so anytime I do a show, I always have like a little press circle, and I noticed that it was more interactive. Anytime I had a show to do in a strip club, I would always pray before I go on stage, for the safety of everybody that's in, in the well-being. And, it's a lot of dangerous people within the strip club and outside the strip club. And every time I do a prayer circle, it takes me long to get done, because I never tell nobody what to do. It's just my team at first, but ultimately you see a bunch of naked women and women with just a bra and just getting in that press circle. And then it's been a lot of women that come to me later and be like, yo, I haven't been to church in a while, but spiritually I connected to you, man. I'm so glad you did that. And so that's what I'm saying. If you look at it biblically, Jesus was everywhere. And that's how I feel like, I mean? I got a little activist in me, so I go hard, especially for our women, because those women have been raped and molested and disrespected, and they have pimps and they've been abused and domestic. Like, listen, I'm an advocate for that, so I'm like their big brother in a lot of ways, and I'm the bully of bullies. So you don't understand what these women are going through. They got drug problems, they got drinking problems, they got mental health issues. And we tend to look at them as just something sexual, and that's it. When some of these women just need a good conversation or another route out. Because some of these women have been battered so much, they ran away from home, and at 16, 17, 18, they had to figure it out. So now
losing this weight, I've been feeling anemia. My niggas be solving the puzzle with pieces. Hit up the program, I tell them I need them. I bust down the trap at the bed like a sleep. What's the quality? Tell me them prices come cheap. 400 for the flex, yeah, I spent that with P. International bitch, you can check the receipt. Back in my bag, yeah, it's back with the demon. I'm my stripes like a tiger and zebra. If we go both for both, pussy boy, we not equal. Overall, I'm by my green like Luigi. My juice be expensive as water like Fiji. They talk behind, but they really beneath me. So I'm stacking the ground from the make me a cheat. You can learn a few lessons, you listen, I teach. Don't be trusting these hoes, cause these bitches is fishy. A vegetable, ain't got no legs when I beat. Tire marks on the ass, so I pull off and scream. Trap part off and finesse and maneuver these streets. Me and my brothers were sharing our teas. Me and my cousins were sharing our jeans. One thing it's all love when it come to my team. That's the truth, I won't get it, bitch, come in between. With Jan and the team, gotta bring up the key. I'm cooking the dick for the addicts and fiends. Come from the trenches, the shit can get deep. You can feel water down in your feet like the creek. All egotistical niggas won't look up the Pablo, the other one thinking he me. Shit, it don't really even matter to me. I still bust on the track by the end of the street. All of my niggas be shining like diamonds, me. All of us cutting, my niggas unique. Catch me and bro in New York on the weekend, we rolling up blunts in the cup with the tree. Fire tofu and baby, we smoking her sheets. My body on Zany, can't move on the seat. Don't wanna drive on my Uber to east. Answer the door with no shoes on the feet, then I call up a bitch till I eat up the meat. Pull out the chest, make her run like a me. Just keep getting money, my nigga preach. You know that I trap random cash in my jeans. Pockets stay flooded, not wearing caprice. Get a cash out on bum, ain't the Alice McQueen. I'm not forcing this shit, it connection to me. I be spending this money irrationally. Gotta live to the fullest, this life it ain't free. Yeah, I had to stand on my feet, I got snacks in the store, ain't no dinner for me. Now that I rap on the beef and the chose for the feature, I issue a fee. I gotta eat, I don't do no freestyling, my style ain't free. Young nigga preach. Young nigga preach. I had to stand on my feet, I got snacks in the store, ain't no dinner for me. Now that I rap on the beef and the chose for the feature, I issue a fee. I gotta eat, I don't do no freestyling, my style ain't free. Young nigga preach.
Like, that's one thing I
Young
love
nigga
about
preach.
like even in Baghdad, I'm like, something about this, like you are this person, you are so genuine, and I love it. I love it. You could tell energy. You can't fake energy, so I love that. What I was going to say is the name of the website one more time.
Let Righteous Minds Entertainment create promotional items for your company. We create business cards, flyers, logos, and video commercials that fit just for you. We'll promote it on social media, YouTube, and our talk show.
You need righteous minds for your production and printing. Contact Righteous Minds for all of your printing. Business cards, flyers, and posters. You need it, we got it. Yeah, you know we about it. Yeah, all of your video and audio production. You need business cards, we got them. we provide everything that you need. Yeah, Righteous Mind. Oh, we got everything that you need. It's Righteous Minds Entertainment.
Like, you know, you don't know what you're installing in your own child. You know, that's the best investment you could have. Like, as a parent, like I do a lot of things, whether it's, you know, TV, media, music, a lot of things, but I love being a father, man. It's the most gangster role I got. It's I love it. I love it. So
I love that. That is awesome. We always love a good dad. Like, we always love a good bond relationship. And I am one of those people, I believe in manifestation, the affirmations. I had just erased mine. It was like, you know, it's just, it's a great thing that you're, you know, teaching him and installing in his brain. And, you know, as he grows older and sees you and everything that you're doing, he's only going to be an embodiment of what you do and what you're doing. So that's amazing. You're setting such a great example for everybody, though, and aspiring people who are, you know, trying to be, you know.
And it's important to like, no different than what you said, Queen, like by writing it on a board is just like, when you write it, you're touching it, you're seeing it. The more ways you can engulf in learning. If I never learned nothing in life, and I wish I knew that as like a teenager when I was wild, like the more ways you know, that's why, like, even like prime example, like, I'm back to my composition books. I got iPads, I got iPhones, but this is how my grandfather started me off, like learning, and then I fell off and now I'm back on it, because the more you write it, you're seeing it, you're feeling it, you're smelling it, you're saying it, and it's like, it's a lot of different ways to embody it inside of you, and then ultimately it gets stuck in you, and then you live it. It becomes you. So whoever's hearing it, man, I need you to take hold of that and take advantage of that.
No, that's a fact. So I know you have the video shoot coming up for special and everything else. Do you have any other like future roles, or do I see you, like, do you want to explore acting more? Because I could see it. For me, my first time watching it, I was like, this can't be your first role. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like,
it was. I was blessed to be around a lot of people that were very experienced in it. Okay. And they did a lot of coaching. You know, I did a lot of messing up. I did a lot of rewriting stuff to make it more urban and more like what's current. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm good at, because I'm more connected to the teens. I'm more connected to the younger guys and younger women. So I did a lot of rewriting and remixing and stuff like that. And we just had a lot of fun. And that was the most important thing, just making it fun. There was a lot of firsts for me in that, just aside from acting, getting on a horse for the first time. I'm like, man, I don't belong in here, man. What I'm doing on this? And just to feel the power of this horse, I'm like, oh God.
She said, this little old thing. I
don't know how they did this in 300. Like, I don't know how they did this back in the day. I would have needed me a car even back then. This ain't happening. Like, that thing start revving up. You like, boy, I could drive a truck and everything, but this.
How long did you guys have to practice before you got on the horse? Like
that same day.
You're lying to me.
But then the white lady that owned it, man, she was a good coach, man. And she was like, how much do you weigh? Because you got to be weighing a certain amount and this and this, that. You got to think. Just sit on top of his organs, and then I was like, "Whoa, you yeah, like certain body parts, like you don't want to be hitting too much." Have you ever rode a horse?
I don't remember. I don't think, like, if it was probably when I was younger, like a pony. A horse? Nah.
It's different, but I'm not gonna lie to you. When you kind of like, because I got guided a lot before my first walk around, I never got a chance to just go, get it up. Nah, I was too scared. I ain't gonna lie, because you're high off the ground, and then I'm thinking about Christopher Reeves. I'm like, I don't want to be like Superman, paralyzed. But once you get over that, it's the best feeling. It's like, this is something that God created, and it's like, it's so strong. Like, you don't understand how strong a horse is until you're sitting up there, and I'm like, man, this is amazing. So I would do it again. Like, just, I want to learn how to ride a horse like on my own and just like really gallop. I want to ride with like,
wow, what's some real quick?
Let's go on the highway, just on the 826.
Oh no!
I wait for the police and just let me stop playing. But yeah, man, it was
I-4. I'm more familiar with Orlando. I was like, imagine seeing a horse on I-4. Like, that's crazy.
But it is some places that you actually see them. I remember when I was because I was a Job Corps. And when I was in Morganfield, Kentucky, I used to see it all the time. I'm like, bro, all these, you can't afford a car? Like, but then it's more expensive to own a horse because they like, they'll range for more than like $100,000, some of them. And the maintenance on them is a lot, and the upkeep. And I'm like, man, it's more expensive to have a horse than a car. Like, you go get your Honda Civic from a used car lot for like nothing. Yeah, with your income tax. Like, but you can't get no income tax horse. He gonna have AIDS, like for real. Like, you get an income tax horse, he gonna have COVID. I'm telling you.
Right? Horses are expensive, but that seemed like a really fun experience. That's crazy.
It was, and it was a good date scene. So yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Cool. Well, I'm excited to see more from you. Like, I'm already on top of all the new music. I'm waiting for this video to drop. If you don't have your social, it's at Grind Mode Chaos, right? Also on Spotify, same thing, at Grind Mode Chaos as well. I really appreciate, like, this is again nostalgia for me. So I really appreciate you coming on such a short notice to do this interview with me. Anything else that you want, like, you want to say, or let the people know, like, it's about you?
Man, just keep God first, stay focused, believe in something greater than yourself. I don't care if it's energy, universe, or whether it be God. I don't care if you're praying to Jesus or Allah. Just find you something that's greater than you, and just really invest in it, and definitely invest in yourself. Be kind to people, man. We living in a place, in a space and time in which you never know what somebody going through, and that's what I just want to leave you with. Like, it's a lot of people that's cold out here. It's hard out here. It's broke out here. It's depressed out here, and there's people that's walking right next to you that's suicidal. I know about 3 people that got like down that road of suicide this year. So take kindness a little more serious. We got to get back to that. Before we ever had social media, we had conversations, and it didn't take Thanksgiving dinner for it to happen. We got to get back to that. My people are some of the greatest people that ever survived, whether you're from the islands or wherever you may be, your ancestry, but there's nothing better than Black. I don't care what you are. We're the most mimicked people on the planet. We're the most copied people on the planet. We have culture that has been, we have not financially and economically benefited from as much as we should, but it's time to reverse that. I think Clubhouse is going to do that. I think a lot of the social media, we have to flip and use it for the right reason, not just for flexing purposes. The best flex is success. You understand what I'm saying? So us being more successful in investing in us, that's a better flex. You know what I'm saying? I want to see more Black communities that we build.
Yeah.
Not gentrification, and then they put us over here. They don't decide where we live. We got to change that. We got to change the red line, and we got to change a lot of things. So I just want to leave y'all with saying, be kind, man, because like I said, man, it's a lot of people that smile on their face and they go home and they'll blow their brains out. They hang themselves on their ceiling fan. And because you said the wrong thing, and that was the last thing that they heard in their mind, and they was already tired. And I'm talking about beautiful people. Like, I had a fan of mine she was beautiful. She can get almost any man on the planet, and I'm still saying why. But she was unstable, and she was just like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And she took on, like, I had a young guy who, his mother, I watched him be born. And at 16 years old, he couldn't deal with some things. And I wish he would have called my phone. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I'm walking around. A lot of people that's in the cold, a lot of people that's hurting, a lot of people that's crying and putting a mask on. So listen, we got to learn how to be kind to each other. We got to learn how to help each other. We got to learn how to take care of women, protect our women at all costs. They are ours. Like, they belong to us. They come home to our tribe. Yes. When you look at these stats, it's too many women that's coming up missing. They're ours. We got to go out and find them, or we got to make sure they don't get taken. So I'm done. I'm going to leave it at that. Bless y'all, whoever heard me.
Woo! Yeah, that was a powerful message. And I hope whoever is listening takes that very seriously. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Everybody make sure you go follow Grind Mode Chaos. That's at Grind Mode Chaos on Instagram, on Spotify. You know what it is. It's your girl Drea, aka Lady Hercules. Showcase TV, we out.
Appreciate you.